Hello everyone, you're watching SK Live. I'm your host Indranil Basu. Today we have Manoj Tiwary once again. Manoj, thanks for joining on SK Live. Good to see you.
It's always a pleasure to come and speak to you and talk to you. If you remember, and your viewers remember that I already had a session with you earlier as well. So it's
Yes,
always nice to see you because you're like big brother to me, and I always feel
no,
nice and happy to
it's a
come
privilege.
online and have a chat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a privilege. And yesterday, why I really wanted to have a chat with you was because I saw there is a huge problem. It's a crisis here right now. How to get Joe Root out? And you decoded, you it came with a sort of a diagram on Twitter explaining 7-2 when we say 7-2, it's like 7 on the offside, 2 on the onside, but you are doing something completely different. You have a short third and you have only
Yeah.
a off. That's it. So there is no cover, no point, no extra cover, and everyone is there on the onside 7. So can you,
Onside. Right.
so why this unconventional field placement, and what do you think Joe Root would be doing with that kind of field placement?
Well, let me start with a couple of points actually. Before this test match, I recorded one video, which I normally do whenever I feel like doing it. I recorded saying that in Chennai pitches, England will not win any matches.
Yeah,
I predicted that because I thought that Chennai wicket will be spinning from the very first session itself,
yeah,
and assuming that they will provide a spinning track, and I predicted that. But when I saw the pitch, I was very surprised to see the way it behaved on the first couple of days, because there was not much of turn from the good length area of the spinners, which made the toss a bit advantageous to England team. And even if India would have won the toss, the result would have been totally different. India would have comfortably won because it was nice to bat on, score a big total, and after that we saw how the wickets deteriorated. Perfect example was in the second innings when the ball started turning square. You see England got all out for merely 170 odd runs. So I was a
yes,
little surprised. So coming back to this particular field placement, I was thinking because I've led India under 19 and India A and Senior Bengal for a number of years, and I've always applied this sort of a field placement when somebody's playing sweeps and reverse sweeps pretty well. Off late, like last 1.5 years, if you see Joe Root's improvement as far as playing spins are concerned, has improved massively. He started playing sweep shots a lot and reverse sweep as well, and a fine reverse sweep glance as well, past the slip if the slip is not there. So so it's important to protect the areas from where the sweep shots gets runs. So basically, if you see, I have kept one very short square leg as well,
yes, yes,
because we all know that a sweep shot is played on a good deliveries on a good length deliveries of a spinners. When
yeah,
somebody plays sweep of a good length ball, the spinner gets rattled. Then he's very intelligent in a way that once he plays that sweep shot, then he plays with the mind of the bowler. Then bowler tries to think bowling a bit up, which he capitalizes on driving the ball to the offside, and the bowler also thinks of putting it a little shorter so that when he plays a sweep shot, the top edge will come and he will get out. But he's very intelligent in that way. So that's why I have kept that square leg over there. And a deep square, if you see, I have kept 20 yards inside
yeah,
because I don't have the luxury of extra fielder keeping in short fine leg for the top edge, because I've kept a leg slip as well. So one leg slip, one backward short leg, a little closer to the line of the square leg, one short square leg, and one deep square leg, 20 yards above because of the top edge, so that he can come and dive and get the catch in front. I have kept a mid wicket because if a batsman is stuck in the middle, not been able to rotate, so normally the tendency is to go for a big hit just to get out of that situation. So you need to have a backup there. That's why that fielder is there. And rest of the fielders are pretty up and a short mid wicket as well, because on a turning track, the bowler has to have a catching position as well. Once missed time, it might go to the short mid wicket as well, and you have to have mid on a very quick fielder so that he can adjust his speed. He cannot be too back and he cannot be too front, because it will be a little easier for him to come straight and hit over the top. So you have to have a good fielder on the mid on so that he can come little 5 yards from the back and rush onto the ball for saving one. And mid off, I've kept little straighter because you want the batsman Joe Root to play in the extra cover or cover region. So when you playing a cover drive on a spinning track, and especially of Ashwin, or if the pitch is assisting spinner, it will not be an easy shot. If you keep a normal mid off, so he can bring the bat straight enough to connect the ball into the middle of the bat. So you want him to close his bat as much as possible. And I have kept short mid wicket, short third man, because he plays reverse sweep. So
A top
reverse sweep, yeah, for the top edge, because if he plays a harder sweep, like a flat sweep, it might go over there. He might see spinners might go for couple of boundaries, but that's okay. Couple of boundaries equivalent to 16 or 20 runs, but it is far less than what he has scored in the first test match. So I don't normally keep slip. Slip placement looks pretty good as far as attacking point of view is concerned. Visualize, if you see on television, oh, slip, short leg, short fine, slip point, it looks good on television. But if you calculate how many balls have gone to slip region on a spinning track, you will see very rare. If the off spin on a turning track does not help much, then in the bowling of Ashwin, I believe carom ball will be a delivery which he can utilize, but that's on later part, because he does not need to bring in too early. In that case, you can bring one fielder to slip region, so that carom ball can come into play as far as slip is concerned. So that
then
was
then
my
then it becomes 6-3.
then it becomes 6-3. So that comes later on. But the thing which I'm analyzing or visualizing, if the likes of wickets which I'm thinking, if it's provided, because I just heard and saw what Ajinkya said, that the pitch looks on a turning track, it will assist spinner from the very first day. This is what I was expecting from the very first test match itself. But when he confirmed that they are going to play on a rank turner, so I don't think he will need any other variation apart from what he's continuing to deliver. In fact, it will help Washington more, because Washington is someone who plays shorter format, so he darts the ball when he delivers the ball. So if he gets some purchase, because he does not flight the ball that much,
Yeah.
so he will be unplayable in my opinion, because if the pitch is assisting him, he is very dangerous bowler, because he has a height of 6'2", and when the ball obviously gets released from the hand, it comes out like 7 feet tall, and the trajectory of the delivery is pretty flat. And when it's pretty flat, the batsman will not be able to step out or do anything apart from just defend. And if a batsman is not good at defense, he will struggle big time.
And we saw how he got the wicket of Steve Smith in the first Test match he played, Washington Sundar. But what you're talking about, Manoj, you need
Yeah,
a very accurate bowling department. I mean, that's you can't just stray on the off stump, bowl a full toss, bowl a half volley. You have to just stick to your plan. Your line and length
yeah,
has to be immaculate, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. That is what is required. See, you are playing for Team India. You're not playing for any other team or a club team or a district team. If you
Yeah.
aren't accurate enough, then
Yeah.
obviously you don't deserve to play at the international level. Okay, but that's why I gave the liberty of 4-5 overs, 4-5 boundaries. That is the only reason why I gave that. But I have full faith in our bowlers, because accuracy wise, if you see Washington Sundar, the only player who was not accurate enough as far as spinning is concerned, unfortunately, was Nadim in the
He
first
was
test, and
trying to bowl really fast. That's why he
he
bowled
was
that.
trying to bowl. Yeah, I've played with him for so many years. I was a little surprised not to see him be accurate enough. But And if Akshay Patel plays, I'm pretty sure he also has a good height, and he bowls pretty quick as well. So you have to give that sort of a pitch where these bowlers can be more effective. I'm sure the India will never. Obviously, we have to wait and see what sort of a pitch does a ping ball match going to happen in Ahmedabad. But apart from that, whenever we see overseas teams, especially comes into India, we normally provide a spinning track, and that's how we got maximum results in the past so many years. I think India were a little confident the way we won the series in Australia, obviously, and that could have made the decision making of playing in such track in which we saw that toss became a very important factor. And after that, yeah, as far as accuracy is concerned, they have to be accurate, because you're playing for international level and you're representing India, so you have to be accurate enough to choke them. And as far as runs are concerned, and eventually once you bowl couple of tight overs, then obviously batsman tries to take advantage of a good delivery, then batsmen mostly are in trouble.
Thanks to your innovative sense of leading a side. And no wonder India has so many wickets, over 400.
He will
You know,
he will never give he will never give credit to his captain. All the
but he
credit he
did.
has
He
given.
did.
Oh, he
In
did.
all, he did. He did. He came
Okay,
on
okay.
this. He said he complimented the captains he has played under. But
Mhm.
major bulk of captaincy you did when he was getting those many wickets every season, isn't it?
Yeah, 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 yeah. He was a fantastic bowler. He was a captain's bowler, to be honest. I've always said that. It's unfortunate that he never got opportunity in the overseas conditions. But he was a lion-hearted guy and always giving his 100% whenever you call him, especially in the third spell and fourth spell of a day. And yeah, hats off to him.
Absolutely. You've seen so many captains in Indian cricket. You've been around for so many, almost 2 decades. Almost 2 decades. You've been playing cricket.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and who has been? Can you tell me the best bowling captains you've seen? I mean, the way you described the field placement, because that's the only skill a captain has to have when you're on the field. When you're batting, what is there? I mean, anyone can you go and bat. I'm go at number 4. Someone else is going at number 5. But when you go and take the team on the field, and that's the acumen of a captain is actually judged. So, which all are
Sure.
the best bowling captain you have seen in your career so far?
See, honestly speaking, MS Dhoni has a tremendous amount of idea of how to utilize his players,
Hmm.
and Saurav Ganguly has the same ability as well. Reads the situation really well. When to bring in what sort of a bowler to get the wickets
And the field placement.
from, and
Field
the field
placement.
placement, especially as, yeah, field placement. If you remember, MS Dhoni's in Lord Test,
Hmm.
England were got surprised with the bouncy attack, with the short ball attacks. If you
Yes.
remember,
Yes.
if
Yeah.
you remember the field placement, especially, he had five fielders on the onside,
Yeah.
and normally four fielder on the onside and five on the offside. A pull shot, obviously, in front of deep square leg fetches you four. But I clearly remember now. I can recollect that visual. Matt Pryor hitting a very good shot out of middle and straight to deep mid wicket. Normally you don't see, and off
Yeah.
Ishant Sharma. So that sort of a on that sort of a field placement, it can only be come from someone who reads the game and is one step ahead of the others on of the game, can get the best out of that situation. So MS was one of them, and Saurav Ganguly, obviously. So we cannot just forget the amount of effort and amount of hard work he has put into pick and choose select players from the time when Indian cricket was going through during that phase, and
Yeah.
to build a team. He had a vision. He had a vision, and when we see him leading a side on the cricket field, he is outstanding as far as game reading is concerned. He knows where where to place the fielders, and that's the quality of a captain you have to have. I mean, a captain should not obviously a captain and a batsman has two different roles altogether. When he goes into bat, he's just a batsman at that time. But when you are on the field, you got to be very innovative when it's required, not over innovative. You don't want to show to everyone that you know how to captain a side, but at the same time you read the situation, you get the best out of your bowlers and place a field where that batsman cannot go past 200 at least.
No, absolutely. And you talked about Ishant Sharma. He had a fifer in that Lord's Test match, if I'm not mistaken. But that
Yeah,
same
yeah.
Sharma said after we lost the Adelaide Test match that
Hmm.
Rahane is going to be a bowler's captain. So and he really turned out to be a very special captain for India in the Test
Yeah,
series.
I was.
How
Yeah,
special was Rahane?
yeah. Rahane was special. Rahane was special. I was about to mention him after what I was telling, uh, but whatever little I've seen in Australia, I think he was very good. He was very good. He brought in the changes which was required during that time. The changes of the bowlers and the field placement obviously, and the quiet guy he is. You don't have always have to be quiet to be a good captain. You can be expressive as well, but his style of captaincy is completely different to what we see of Virat Kohli. So whatever little I've seen of Ajinkya was very good if he is given. Obviously, I don't know when the time will come. Obviously, he has to score consistently enough uh, 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 to just keep away all the criticism of him getting dropped from the test team. But if given him a opportunity, I'm pretty sure he will do a good job.
Absolutely, he will. But
Mm.
how tempting is it for you to discuss the captaincy issue? You know, we when I mean, I was really surprised when people asked Rahane. So Virat is coming back. So what are you going to do? So did people actually expect him to say, no, Virat should stay away. I will captain the side against England. So that was really funny when I heard that. So what are your thoughts? And then you try to push Virat out. That is a little opportunistic also. But how do you balance it out? Someone is doing well in Test cricket, then we have Rohit Sharma also doing well in white ball cricket, and then there is Virat Kohli. He's the best batsman. He's done so much. He's a perfect brand ambassador in terms of fitness, scoring runs, carrying himself on the field, showing aggression. So, what are your thoughts?
See, a lot of credit has to go to Virat Kohli. There is no doubt about that. The kind of uh, mindset he has brought in, especially after MS Bhai's last phase of his captaincy. You see, he brought in change as far as fitness is concerned because he was prolific run scorer. He still is. Even if you see, he scored 70 odd run in that first test where others were struggling. But apart from that, he emphasized that, and he thought that, and he knew that fitness is something where Indian team needs a big change, and that's how you see the yo-yo test came into the scene, and you see now the fitness. Each and every player, even the domestic players who have not represented India A or Indian team, they know that if I'm not fit enough to qualify for that fitness test, then he will not or she will not get an opportunity in the cricket in the men's team or the women's team. So that's how he has changed the mindset of individual as far as fitness is concerned. But as far as his aggression on the field is concerned, that it helps at times, uh, uh, which other players obviously see him doing on the field. It obviously pumps the others as well, and especially when the crowd is present in the stadium, definitely that helps. But having said all those things, see, when we see the defeats like this and the other games where we know that this could have been done or he could have tried something or the other a little differently, then obviously you know, no, this guy obviously he's now completely ready to rule. But if you see the stats of Virat Kohli as far as his win percentage is concerned, is phenomenal. Actually, he's passed everyone as far as his records are concerned. But I've always believed a captain is good as his teammates. So if your teammates are performing well, then obviously there is no pressure at all. But when the other teammates are not doing well, not executing their plans, not performing, then the question obviously comes in. And as far as Rahane is concerned, obviously Rahane did mention that Virat is the captain of the team, and is perfectly correct in saying that, because we should not obviously have that sort of a controversy within the team. We don't want that, and all the players in the team, they know there is one captain who is Virat Kohli. In his absence, Ajinkya will lead, and in the shorter format, we have to just wait and watch what happens, because everything is based on the results. If the result does not come consistently, then obviously people will raise questions, and more importantly, what BCCI selectors and the administrators think, that is the bottom line.
So the mystery remains why Virat Kohli doesn't win IPL. Rohit Sharma has won so many.
Yeah, yeah.
Why
See,
did that happen?
yeah, there is a lot of reasons for it, obviously.
And you
Uh,
said
but
a captain is as good as his team, so he doesn't have a good team. Is it like that?
He has a good team, but see, right now, Indranilda, obviously, when I was doing expert analysis on Crick Buzz, obviously, during the IPL, I had all the backgrounds and of the players who were picked for RCB and who were not delivering when it was required. But right now, sitting with you, obviously, I can give you briefly what are the reasons. Maybe I cannot give you the full situation, but you see, when you build a team, see his records with Indian cricket team is far better than what his records are in the RCB
Yeah.
as a captain. That is because I feel that to win a tournament, to win a trophy, you need to spend a lot of time with the team.
Yeah.
So in IPL, what happens? The matches are international calendars is scheduled in such a way that you hardly get enough time to be with the team.
Yeah.
You build the team accordingly, and that's not the case with RCB, because
So
you
how does
see
Rohit
at the
Sharma manage?
sorry,
How does Rohit Sharma manage that?
Rohit Sharma's team and Virat Kohli's team is completely different.
Yeah.
See, everything boils down to the combination of the team.
Yeah.
See, the player like Hardik and Krunal, the time they have come in, they have looked unbeaten, because they have three all-rounders at the lower order.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
when they get a good start, then they know that these three guys will finish the job for them. And most of the time, you see, they are the difference maker. Obviously, apart from Rohit's brilliance, and last year Surya played outstandingly. So they have a good scouting team, which I can obviously vouch for that. Mumbai Indians.
Mm,
RCB does not have that sort of scouting team, as far as
mm,
my opinion is concerned. And to build a good team, you have to have a good combination. So I've always said that from the very first match, until unless AB de Villiers keeps for the whole tournament,
mm.
you will not be able to play another overseas player in your team. I was saying this from the very start of the IPL. We did not see AB de Villiers do wicket keeping in the first 6 or 7 games, but
Yeah.
eventually they had to do it, because they knew later on that they cannot bring in any overseas player if he's not keeping, because if he's not keeping, then somebody else has to come in.
Yeah.
And as far as another point is concerned, Josh Philippi was a big letdown, because the amount of faith they showed him, they obviously thought that he was the highest run getter, second highest run getter previous year, before last year, coming to IPL last year, that he will come and do the job for them at the top of the table, at the top of the batting lineup. But unfortunately, he could not contribute. So when your overseas players could not contribute, then your team is in trouble. And Chris Morris also was injured at the first half of the tournament, but they thought that he will be fit and ready to go from the very first game. So the injury factor was also to be considered in the last years of IPL. If you remember, Virat Kohli made a statement saying that in so many years they have a pretty balanced side this year. But unfortunately, injury of Chris Morris
Yeah.
and decision making of not making with AB de Villiers keep and Josh Phillippe's this thing, and Aaron Finch obviously was disappointing as well, because Aaron Finch, I believe, is one of the very few individual who can hit uh, 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 balls out of the park with very ease. But unfortunately, he's not been able to score runs. I don't know what sort of a problem is going with him. But these are the factors, and there's so many other factors as well. This is the team selection part and the combination of the part. But on the field as well, you got to make those sort of a decision. And if that decisions are not perfect, then obviously you end up losing, because everything starts. I'll just keep one or two more insights to it. What I believe, see, first of all, you got to assess the pitch. Before that, you got to assess the pitch, and obviously according to the pitch you got to decide which 11 go to play, whether you want to go with an extra spinner or an extra fast bowler. Until unless you assess the pitch, you're not going to be able to uh, select your first 11 accordingly. So everything starts from there, and then after that, when the game goes on, you have to be very ahead of the game and take your decisions accordingly. If you see Smith also in one of the games against RCB, I remember penultimate over was given to Jaydev Unadkat in one of the games
Yes.
where Jofra Archer had the one over left. Normally, what we see, your best bowler bowls a penultimate over, so that the asking rate goes so far that the even the less experience will come and do the job. So the decision making is the utmost important for the captains.
Do you endorse this perform or perish culture, which IPL owners have, given it to the system? I mean, this is what which was there, which was not there with the Indian team. Now it's the same culture being practiced. They preach and practice also, and the same culture, perform or perish. So, what are your thoughts?
No, see, performance has to be there, because you get picked because they show you a lot of faith on you. They have seen something in you, and the first class players who perform consistently, they get an opportunity. So obviously, if you don't perform consistently, then obviously owners will be obviously not happy, and they will feel sad, because they also spend so much of money to invest into a player, and at the end of the day you don't end up showing any improvement as far as your previous years standing in the table is concerned. Then that disappointment will be there, and eventually that disappointment turns out to be you got to go. And I feel bad for Kings 11 Punjab as well, because uh, uh, apart from all the other owners, you see the most excited owner is Kings 11's owner, Preeti Zinta, and his sadness, obviously it's quite evident on television, and it shows that how much time she invests into her team's preparation. She arrives pretty early with the team, and she's obviously involved, and when the team does not do well, and especially when I remember 2018, when I was part of the team, first 6 games we won 5 games out of 6, and we had a break of 5 to 6 days. That break obviously was not good for us, and after that we were favorites to qualify for the knockouts, but eventually we lost many games in the second part of the fixture, and we end up not qualifying. So it broke everyone's heart, and yeah, obviously the disappointment obviously ends up by sending the players off, not picking the players further on.
You were part of a champions side called KKR in 2012, and that same team last year. I was a little disappointed. The captain had 4 wins, 3 losses, and he was changed. And you also had some prediction before that change happened.
Yeah. Yes.
I I don't exactly endorse this kind of culture because you have to be patient. If you have named a captain, stick to him. Don't change it midway through because it gives a very bad impression on rest of the teammate.
Yeah, definitely. I also don't believe it. In the middle of the season, you don't want to drop your captain, because when you given him a responsibility, or until unless you got to know the if can you hear me, because my
I
this
can, I
thing,
can, I
yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah,
If my Bluetooth's battery goes, no, just let me know, because I'm going to change this with the other one.
yeah.
Uh, See, I don't know what's the story from the other side as well. At times, we normally don't get to hear that the captain wanted to resign because he is the one who's going to come to the owners and said, no, we don't want to. I don't want to lead further on because of I want to concentrate on batting. I exactly don't know what were the reasons, but I don't endorse any franchisee to drop, especially your captain in the middle of the tournament, because you have given that opportunity to him. He has built the team from the auction table itself. It's unfair to him, and it's unfair to the other as well, who was not part of the auction table and the team building. And eventually you're giving the responsibility of captaincy and take, and also uh, the owner wants the team to, obviously the management wants the team to perform well under the next captain, with the players which the previous captain has built the team. So it's unfair in the whole scenario. But having said that, when I predicted that this might happen, I did observe KKR from the previous years, the things which were going on with them. If you
Yeah.
remember, there was issue related to Andrew Russell wanted to bat higher up the order, and it
Yes,
came in the
yes,
press
yes.
conference as well. He himself said that he wanted to come higher up the order, and he was not been given that opportunity to bat. And also last year when McCallum became the head coach, the year before he was expert in Stars Sports commentary panel, and you see he observes a lot of games. He does commentary. He also knows that there is something which is missing around in the team. So the moment he came, and also last year, previous to last year, Shubman Gill was not given a fixed a
Yes,
batting order.
yeah.
So the moment he arrived as a head coach, he stated that no matter what happens, Shubman Gill is going to be batting at number top. So when a head coach who does not have any idea, who just observes from outside, he comes and makes a statement that he's going to bat higher up the order. So that means he reads the whole scenario, what was going through the KKR team. So he wanted to correct that, which eventually helped. And Shubman Gill played outstandingly. And we all know that, I believe he's one of the best upcoming Indian talent to come up. And a future is very bright for him, keeping his work ethic going the way he's going. If he's not distracted with all the endorsements and other stuff, which it takes a lot of time out of a youngster at the pretty start. Uh, uh, but sky is the limit for him. So these are the things which, when you observe, you know there's something bound to happen. And eventually he felt the pressure. The both of them felt the pressure, and eventually we saw him stepping down as KKR captain.
So, but don't you think we should have Indian cricketers, former Indian cricketers, should also buy stakes in IPL so that this kind of unfair things don't happen? Like we have a lot of instances where Saurav Ganguly wanted to buy part of KKR, Gautam Gambhir wanted to buy Delhi Capitals year before last. So, don't you think cricketers, they have money, they can fund their project? They should also get into IPL ownership. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes, loud and
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, yeah.
No, I'm
Sorry about
saying
the airport.
no, no, no. I'm saying
Yeah, I got
that
your question. I got your question. Inunilla,
yes,
I got your question. See, it all depends. Now, it's the dynamic of the IPL franchises whom they want to sell the shares. And you see, I have not gone deeply into what sort of a profit they make out of having a team share. But of late, what I've seen, that BCCI pays a lot of money to the owners now, and they
yeah.
are pretty well secured as far as their profits
Absolutely.
are concerned. So why would they want to go out there and sell to anyone? They will have the profit to himself.
Twice such attempts were made. I did a story. I remember. So I
Okay.
was.
Mm-hmm. See, I don't think at the current scenario, uh, until unless the offer is 10 times what the current price is, and nobody will be willing to sell their shares to anyone, because it's such a brand which brings so much of profit and so much of excitement and so much of emotions is attached to the team. I don't think anyone will, obviously, until unless something majorly required for that owners to sell. No one will sell. I don't think so.
But your heart goes out to those cricketers like a Cheteshwar Pujara. He doesn't have an IPL contract. He can really play strokes. I can tell you that. He's never been given that opportunity. Hanuma Vihari, another character, shown a lot of character. What we saw in Australia in that Sydney Test match with Ashwin, that historic partnership. So when you see these cricketers, deep down inside, you feel they should also have an IPL contract. They should also get that opportunity to be in that sort of league. But they are not there.
See, my answer will be unpopular over here, but see, it's not only about the batting skills
Okay.
in the IPL. It has to be everything along with your batting skills or bowling skills. If you see Pujara, there is no doubt about his stroke play, his ability to bat in 50 overs game or in 20. I'm pretty sure he will be successful, provided if he gets to bat at the top of the order. Because with the kind of batting style he has, he will be difficult to fit in into the middle slot. But if you all recollect and go back in times, we know that he had two ACL reconstruction in both his knees. So he struggles when he strides, when he goes for a quick single or double at times. So franchisee owners and the talent scouting teams also considers your all round ability as well. So they see a broader picture rather than your batting skill. And as far as Hanuman Vihari is concerned, obviously he's someone who should obviously get an opportunity. But unfortunately, if someone picks him, then he has to make him bat at till number four, because right now he has not developed that game of finisher or a big hitter in this slog overs. But having said that, he has not been given that opportunity as well. But in the current scenario, with the current dynamics composition of the team, where the team is already built over so many years now, it's very difficult for a new player to come in until unless that player has the ability to contribute in three departments, which is batting, bowling, and fielding as well. Batting, bowling, we all understand that there will be times when you are not scoring or you will not pick wickets, you will go for runs. But as far as fielding is concerned, you have to be 100% bang on. You cannot obviously miss out on that, because fielding is a guaranteed. So franchisee owners tends to look fielding first. Obviously, batting and bowling is there. That's why you see all the upcoming talents. You take an example of Ishan Kishan. He is a perfect example how a player should be and look to become, if they want to become an IPL player. He
Yeah.
has to have that ability to open the batting, bat at number four, or if required, he can bat in the lower down the order. And he's someone you can obviously put in every situation and you get the best out of him, and he will be able to deliver. And that's why I believe that going forward, any player who wants to play, dream of playing IPL, prepare yourself accordingly so that you can be fit in any position where the team wants. If you're a specialist in one department, I'm sorry to say, it's a fact that it's very difficult to get into IPL teams.
Raj Tiwari is asking, do we have a chance of making to the World Test Championship? Can we qualify for the final to play against New Zealand?
Well, I don't know the equation. I don't know the equation. I don't follow, to be honest, I don't follow this the points table of World Test Championship. But as far as whatever little I've got, that if they win three games here, they will obviously surely be there in the finals. So, like I said, if they prepare pitches which is spinning from the very first session, then the results will end up on India's part. India will win. Why I'm saying that you have to have spinning friendly wickets where you can see from the very first session is because if you compare the quality of the spinners from both the sides,
Yeah,
our quality is far better than what England had.
yeah,
For just an example, I'd say in that spinning track when India was batting, England spinners bowled more than 10 full tosses. So they were not accurate enough. And Indian
yes,
bowlers will not give you that full tosses, that much of full. But I was surprised as well to see so many no balls were bowled by Indian bowlers, which is unacceptable at all. But they will rectify that and come better prepared. But as far as quality is concerned, I think India is much ahead as far as accurate and loose balls given by the spinners are concerned.
absolutely. And we want to see what you did. You know that photograph right behind you. That's the century you did in Chennai, the same venue where we're going to play the Test match from tomorrow. What a moment it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, what a moment it was, and Chennai ground has been some memorable venue for me because especially this 100 came in Chennai pitch where the
Yes,
team is going to play the second test. And I remember the boundary which I hit for four to win in IPL final is also in the Chennai. And I remember the visiting Australian team with all the bowlers, Mitchell Stark, Peter Siddle, Nathan Lyon, Aston Agar. I scored in the warm up game. I scored 130 odd runs in a warm up game, and I was pretty close. And that also came in Chennai as well. So Chennai has been special as far as my cricketing journey is concerned. But this moment, obviously, I dedicate to Virendra Sehwag because he was the one who made sure that I bat at number 4, where I was obviously used to playing. And until unless that opportunity was provided, I wouldn't have got that much of time to score those runs. But most importantly, India won, and I was the man of the match.
yeah.
So it's a special memory. But after that, the memory was not so special. That's for different reasons. But let it be. I don't want to talk about it now.
But you've always spoken your heart out. That is very important. And Raj Tiwari is asking who's the next big player we should watch out from Bengal who can make it to the highest level. So Manoj.
See, there are so many players who are coming up. We have Ishan Podal who's coming up as far as fast bowling is concerned. Akash Deep is there. In the batting department, obviously Ishwaran was one of them who was scoring prolifically till last year, and I believe talents are always there. Even if you see, even if the current Indian team, obviously, the kind of pitches we're going to play in the next Test match, even the maximum players does not play from the first team. The second team plays only no against this England attack. I believe they will be equally effective and win you games for India. My point is that we have tremendous amount of talents waiting to just get an opportunity. It's something that we don't have that space right now for newcomers. But as far as Bengal players are concerned or other players from different states are concerned, it's important to give opportunity, provided if there is little space to give him, give them who are in a good form.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I remember how Mayank Agarwal got into the side. He was scoring a lot of runs, and Ishwaran also scored a lot of runs. But unfortunately, he was not kept. But now I've seen his name in the standby. So one thing they have done good, which is calling him back again. But unfortunately, last year he could not score runs. But previous to last year, he was in outstanding form. So that's what happens when you don't give players an opportunity when he's in red hot form. Then obviously you miss out on that particular player, and but provided if you have an opportunity to give that space.
No, but if people still remember you. One of my colleagues, Shuvajit, is saying it was a great moment fighting cramps and getting that 100. Manoj has been very. Uh,
Yeah, as far when you mentioned cramps, no, I'll tell you one incident. See, previous to that game, I always most of the time I used to get cramps in my legs, in my calf, or maybe on hamstring. But on that particular day, Chennai heat was so much, condition was so worse for all of us to play cricket. The whole body started cramping except my head. Everything was cramping. But that's the way it was. When I was on 80 runs, the cramps started coming in. At one point of time, I thought I should go inside the dressing room and come back again if a wicket falls, so that I can get that little bit of freshness or relaxation in between. But the same moment, after a couple of seconds, I thought, no, this is a golden opportunity to be there out and score runs and give your team a good score to defend. So I obviously made a point. No matter how much cramp I get throughout my body, I will bat. And the moment you see I scored that 100, I was little relieved that, yeah, now I can go. So I did not even ask the umpire, can I go out, sir? So I straight off went to the dressing room.
That was really special. But what is not special is this year we are Ranji Trophy less. I mean, we are not going to have
Yeah,
Ranji. This is very, very quite a sad news for all the domestic cricketers. I mean, nothing we could do. BCCI tried their level best to hold stage
yeah,
these two tournaments,
yeah,
but what is most sad, I mean, it's sadder is the way Wasim Jaffer was accused,
yeah.
and he was one of the guys who took a stand. I mean, we see so many star cricketers; they hardly come out and say anything. They just stay within their little hideouts. No one. Everyone wants to be politically right. I mean, when I see Manoj Tiwary, I don't think you're joining politics because you're so.
No, it's not about, see, it's not about joining politics or joining anything else. You cannot plan all these events which is not in your control and think that you're going to join politics, and that's why you're making such comments.
Yeah,
Because even if I join politics in say about next month, or maybe after or before that, how would I set up all the whole thing so that people will question, no, 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 he's making all this comment because he wants to join the politics. So it does not work in that way. Whatever I see
always
in
said
front
about
of,
it. Yeah,
yeah,
you've always
whatever I see,
yeah,
yeah, I've always spoken out, because I feel that as an individual, apart from my cricketing achievements or whatever, people obviously uh, gave a lot of love to me as far as my cricketing aspects is concerned. But as an individual, as a citizen of India, I do have a responsibility, which I feel that I should voice
absolutely.
my opinion as well in certain issues, and which the thing which has happened with Wasim Bhai is very unfortunate. To brand him as communal is something. Uh, uh, it's shocking, to be honest, because I have a good relationship with him. He's always encouraged me, and then we respect him so much. And to see Wasim Bhai coming out and has to explain what has happened, and he's someone who will never do such things like backing their players from the same community. It pains your heart, because this guy has given so much of joy to all the cricket fans all over the world, and to see him coming out and has to give reasons why it was not the same case, so it pains. That's why I thought that it's very important that the top of the state has to come and intervene,
Yeah,
because
you
until unless the top comes in, the association normally dilutes or make a escape plan or something or the other reasons to just keep this case aside. So until unless that intervention comes from the top, which is from the chief minister, that's why I wrote in my tweet that he has to come in, because he's the ultimate decision maker, and it could have, because he's our national hero.
absolutely,
Even if he's not a national hero, even it happens with any individual. You got to find put an inquiry to what has really happened. The truth has to come out, and truth always wins, which I believe. So somebody has to be accountable.
So I mean, that brings us to the last question. Anil Kumble also was someone who tweeted along
Hmm.
with Manoj Tiwary. That's a good thing. And Anil Kumble always had that heart of a tiger, of a lion-hearted effort. He would used to put it as a bowler. But coming to that, the competition bit, don't you think with one state, one vote, which is Lodha community's reform, these states coming up, one state like Uttarakhand coming with a team. So many teams have come into the IPL, to the Ranji Trophy, to the domestic cricket. Has it diluted Ranji Trophy, the standard of domestic cricket? So many teams coming like this chota team, the smaller teams, the northeast teams, which is important, but it's become sort of a business as we hear, because Jaffer represents a sort of culture where you perform, you get noticed, you play at the highest level. That's the kind of Bombay and everywhere, Delhi, Bengal, Tamil Nadu, anywhere you go, Bangalore. But then we see these smaller states, and such stories coming out. What exactly is the thing? I mean, do you think it's because of so many teams coming to domestic competition? It's really diluting competition level.
See, as far as quality is concerned, Indranilda, I have to accept the quality obviously has dipped when you play against them. There is
Yeah,
no doubt about that. But having said that, why deny the opportunity to the youngsters who lives in those particular states? So you got to, the BCCI has done a fabulous job to bring those states into consideration and gave that opportunity and platform to rub shoulder with the Ranji Trophy big teams, and it's a good thing which has happened. I'm only worried about the things like this which has happened with Wasim Bhai. If those
yeah,
things does not happen, then the people will not raise questions, because I don't believe in denying opportunity, because if you remove on the basis of quality, then I think it will be a big harm to all the upcoming buddies, upcoming cricketers who wants to uh, become successful cricketer in their career.
yeah.
And it's just that you have to pick you just have to address the issue and 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 punish the culprits basically. And I think they should come in. They have a separate thing, but you got to, obviously, when you picked a national team or India A team or under 19 team, you got to be looking at the performances against which team that particular player has performed, as far as picking a player for the national team is concerned, because the quality is not to the up to the standard of the elite ones. But I do believe that players should get the platform and opportunity to showcase what they are capable of. But apart from the administrative issues and the issue which has happened to Wasim Bhai, this thing should be addressed immediately, and and the culprit should be punished on immediate basis basically.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're so right, and thanks for taking a stand like that, and capturing the imagination of people who really want to see cricket being played with the right spirit. Cricket doesn't have a religion.
Yeah,
Never had,
yeah,
will never have
well
one.
said. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
well said.
cricket doesn't have any politics. I've seen when late Arun Jaitley used to be the de facto boss of BCCI. He never thought it's a property of BJP or Congress or Trinamool or anyone. It was all party members. Whosoever was equipped enough to run a show, they were there in that BCCI, that family called BCCI. I hope cricket continues to prosper the way it's been done. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll share an experience. See, if Mohammed Shami comes from Bengal side, from Bengal state, obviously we drink the same water from the same one bottle. So,
Yeah,
and I'm secular. I believe in secularism. So politics should not obviously come in at any cost. So I when people start debating about Hindu Muslim, I feel very angry, to be honest, because there are so many Muslim friends, Christian friends we have, and obviously to bring in the topic of Hindu Muslim, it's something which is very disturbing. You got to find the if you analyze, if every individual analyzes what are the main reasons, what are the root causes for such atmosphere being created, they will get the answer itself. So so people are not fooled now, or they were never, but they will understand. The people who does Hindu Muslim thing bring communalism to any aspects in any place. They have a motive behind it. They have an agenda behind it. So you got to be smart enough to think why they are doing it, and you will get the answer itself. You just have to spend half an hour yourself at
Absolutely.
home, then you'll get the answer.
Nominal card can't work in sports. Sorry,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
never
yeah,
it's never worked. It'll never
yeah,
work in days
yeah.
to come. And on that note, Manoj, it was really great chatting with you as always.
Thank you.
And
Same here.
we agreed to come on the show. It was really insightful to hear your thoughts. And you, what I really like, you call spade a spade all the time, which is very special. Thanks a lot for coming on SK Live.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.